All right, so we're gonna be trying out or checking out the trailer for the upcoming Twister movie. These movies were back when I was a little bit younger. Don't worry, that was me, not you. These movies were put out back in 1996, and I believe there was one, but was there a second movie or?
No, there was not a second movie. There was only one, but they tried to do some knockoff movies. Other companies tried to do movies that were similar.
Well, yeah, there
Um,
was like Sharknado, but I don't think that.
no, I mean there was some of the companies tried to do some of the other, like they did tornado movies where they were storm chasers, but they weren't quite the same.
Okay. These movies were about a ragtag of, I guess you would call them almost adventure junkies or excitement junkies chasing out tornadoes to figure out how they worked, how they moved, how they came about, what powered them, and
Uh,
they kind of worked for the news too, right? I imagine because like.
yeah, the biggest driving force was the fact that um a couple of them had experienced terrible things in their childhoods due to tornadoes, and they realized that the early warning systems just weren't early enough. They weren't helping people. People were still dying. um so like one of the biggest driving force for the main two characters was to try to figure out how can we map these things and figure out exactly how they work so we can make an early warning system that gives us plenty of time to get the hell out of the way.
Okay. And do we know? Okay, so far as I'm aware, do we know who is making this? Is it Waters Brothers, or University, or I want to say it's University. I could be wrong, but
You-
I
it's Warner Brothers is making this one.
okay. And as far as I'm aware, they made the original, so at least the same studio still has it. They still have the
No,
rights.
I thought the original was made by Universal.
Okay. But let's just say I and my wife, I've saw her several times, regardless what she might say. She is a huge fan of the original. I've seen her watch this movie through the years we've been married, probably well over 20 times. She loves the tornado movies. And I, being the person that came from Louisiana and Mississippi, have been through plenty of tornadoes and hurricanes, and I had to agree it's not fun when they pop up out of nowhere because people don't understand this. It's not always a hurricane that destroys your house or destroys your trailer or whatever you're maybe living in. It's the tornadoes that the hurricane makes because of the
Absolutely.
wind that is being produced and produced by the hurricane. And when it hits landfall, it's like, oh, the hurricane's nowhere near me. Watch out! Here comes a tornado.
No, you're right though. The original was made by Warner Brothers, which is strange because all the attractions and stuff were done by Universal. So I'm wondering if it was one of those things where Universal was the parent company and Warner Brothers is actually the studio that put it out.
Okay, okay. So I know what this is now. Do you think this kind of movies will bring a resurgence? Like I know, I'm sure there's still some people out there that chases tornadoes to like find out their locations and see where they're gonna hit landfall, and I'm sure that's still a thing. But you think like this will bring a resurgence of people really getting out there on the field, like the excitement and thrill of chasing down these
It
dangerous natural
it's
disasters?
kind of like this. It never went away. There's people that are so fascinated with this that they're always going to be somebody that chases storms, whether it's a tornado, a hurricane, or what, a lightning storm, whatever the hell it is. And their entire purpose, not only is it's exciting and it's thrilling to them, but it's to find out how they work and how to help, um, people know as early as possible how to get out of the way.
Mm. I'm surprised. What's your thoughts, Stealth?
It actually goes back to what you were saying about Universal and Warner Brothers. It's because Universal and Warner Brothers work together a lot.
Good point. Good point.
So like for example, they have a collaboration for the next 10 years until 2030.
Oh,
That's
okay. That's good. That's
that's
good.
what I'm talking about. They work a lot together, so they sometimes you can't tell where one begins and one ends because of that.
Ah. Okay, so let me get your thoughts before we get into too deep in this. My wife is worried about this movie. Now, I don't really think, and I'll say this full well and upfront, I don't think this Warner Brothers or University has been doing as bad as Disney of late. And I think Warner Brothers has been doing pretty well of just making just good movies, just good old movies. But my wife is still in this mindset. She's worried this movie will probably be bad. I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer yet. You have any suspicions or worry about this movie?
I mean, I'll put it like this: if there was somebody that I think could do it and do it well, it would be Universal and Warner Brothers. I feel personally,
Mhm.
and there went the Universal logo. So yes, Universal is tied up in this. Um, I feel personally that if I was to choose a studio that I back, and I've said it before, and you guys can disagree with me, I think Universal is one of the best studios out there. And if anybody can do it, they can do it.
Yeah. And I hope they do it justice to doing well. Are you gonna go see this movie regardless what the trailer looks like?
I'm gonna watch the movie regardless because I can't not. I'm a huge fan of the first one. I loved it. Um, and I'm gonna go for better or worse to see this one. I may come out completely disappointed. I may come out saying, "Hey, they did a fairly good job."
Okay, is it to be a stay at home watch or is it to be a we're making a movie making popcorn night at the theater?
I don't know. That's a good question. I am not 100% sure on that one. That one's still up in the air. Because and the reason I say that is there are a ton of good movies supposedly coming out this year,
Yes.
and I am very selective of what dictates an actual theater go.
Yeah, me and my wife, we probably go to the
So you
theaters
know
maybe twice a year. Maybe.
if if Stealthy makes this her pick of the year, then yes, we'll be there. I you no, you didn't. On what? No, you didn't. I don't count that.
All right. So, the movie is gonna have a few actors. If anybody recognize some of these names, I'm not particularly aware of some of these actors. Then again, I don't really keep with names and actors that much. But these are a few of them right here. We got Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar. I believe I recognize that name. Anthony Ramos, Karen Shapekai. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Sorry. Katie M. O'Brien and David uh Corn Sweet. I don't know how to say your last name. Sorry.
I don't recognize any of the names off the top of my head, but then again, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean much because I'm kind of selective about who I watch anyway.
Yeah, I'm a mind of I want new actors in movies because new actors means more people that can play roles instead of seeing the same person and seeing that role, that character. Because some actors they don't act the role, they act themselves playing that role, and I just see them as like five different characters in one movie. I'm like, I don't see them as that character. Sometimes I want to see new blood, and new blood is good. New blood allows for more diversity in acting, not that kind of diversity. Um, I believe the actor makes the role. That's just my opinion. So let's go try this out. Let's see what it's about. And this movie, I believe it is coming out this year. So
Yes, it's supposed to come out this year.
if this is going to be your movie of the year, leave it down in the comment below. Will you go see this movie in theaters? Yep, there's University and Warner Brothers. Okay, so all three of them. All three of them. Okay, starting out with the loud.
Dodge whatever's in there. It's big and it's moving fast. Drive.
Wait, what does it mean whatever's in there is big and moving fast?
In other words, something either one they haven't actually seen the twister yet. It's clouded inside the storm, and he's saying whatever's in there, it's a big twister and it's moving fast. Or two, the twister has picked up something big and it is spinning the shit out of it.
Can they actually like I don't know, somebody maybe that knows more about this than I do? Can they actually see debris inside the tornado that like, hey, it picked up an 18 wheeler and it's now going in circles and being about to be hurled
Uh,
and
I can't answer that question because when I see a tornado, I'm running the other damn way.
What is the stealth?
Yes, stealthy.
I can't hear her.
Radar, you could tell that because of the fact that you calculate radar in the air and in the seas. If you're able to, you would be able to. Thing is, nobody wants to get close enough to a tornado to try it. Just saying.
I mean, I love my cows and stuff, but if Bessie goes flying like she did in the first one, to hell with her.
Yeah. All right. All right. Oh. Okay. Get right back. Okay. There goes her vehicle, and they're running straight. What are they inside of right now? Well, okay. This is the myth that I think this movie started, and I believe I've heard this 1,000 times. If a tornado or hurricane comes to you, do not go underneath the bridge. That's actually a very bad place because it creates a tunnel and vortex and more pressure, and debris will be sucked through there. Therefore, you'll get hit by it.
That's true to an extent, yes. But if you have no other option, that cement may be the only thing nailed down enough that if you can get to it and latch to it, that you won't get blown away.
Yeah, I can maybe see that, but I saw them running toward what looked like a bridge. I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you like this: if a tornado hits, regardless whether it's protocol or not, if the only damn thing there is a bridge, I damn sure ain't standing out in the middle of the field going, "Hey, how you doing? Shake my hand." No, I'm going to cover.
going to cover, yeah. This summer.
It's Tyler Owens. Calls himself a tornado wrangler. If you feel it, chase it! I said if you feel it, chase it! All right, here we go.
Okay, they just drilled their vehicle into the ground, and now the tornado, it looks like to be on top of them.
Yeah. So what they're attempting to do is use auger bits. That's what those are called, auger bits.
Uh-huh.
And drill and anchor the vehicle to the ground. There's a couple of issues with that. A lightweight tornado, you might get by with that shit, but anything that's got enough ass, it's just gonna rip you out of the ground. I mean, you've seen it rip trees out of the ground. That shit ain't gonna help you.
Yeah, I've seen wind so hard that it made a tree slap the ground like it was giving it the clap. Like it was just...
Listen, in 1999, when all those tornadoes hit down here and where I live at,
Uh-huh.
I watched pecan trees the size of concrete pillars in vast acreage just be pulled up out of the ground and laid over on their damn side. And their roots go way the hell deeper than those auger bits are going.
Yeah. So, and of course, we got, like, for at least in the lower south area where tornadoes and hurricanes are available, houses are built nowadays to, like, with brackets and joints and stuff like that to help with, like, those severe winds from being pulled up. A vehicle is not normally made like that, right? Like the bar on the vehicle, all the other debris, the belts, all that stuff isn't really joined together.
Here's another little piece of information a lot of people don't know too. Yes, most of these vehicles are off-road vehicles, so they have some significant gap between the ground and the undercarriage. That helps you when you're off-road, but it does not help you with a tornado. It just creates a place for it to create lift.
Yeah,
which means you go flying.
So you better be riding a low rider out in the fields.
Talking about that tunneling effect.
Yeah. Yeah, they build that low rider real fast. So okay, but this one, it's pretty much all for the thrill, right? It's the idea of it, but don't go try this in real life.
Oh, she's perfect.
She's gorgeous.
You thought you could destroy a tornado.
Okay, so here's a callback right here.
Yep,
This
Dorothy.
Dorothy, this was in the original movies. If you've not seen the original movie and you're checking out this review, I would suggest go watch it if you're into this kind of things. Now, they are very much like, oh my God, she's gorgeous, tornadoes that can kill, hundreds of people or ruin people's entire life. I don't see how you can really think that way, but you do you. This right here.
Well, they're not gorgeous from the aspect that the destruction is beautiful in and of itself. But the fact that it's that powerful and just the amount of wind that it can create, it's just a
They're at awe at the strength and power of the thing.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Some at Mother Nature, how wild she can be. It's like watching a stampede of let's say bulls coming at you or
or
running across the
antelope,
yeah
or it's almost elegant in nature.
yeah
I mean, okay, so for a quick little throwback, for instance, when you watch Jurassic Park for the first time and you see them get out and they're all in awe and shit at these giant animals, they're not at awe because the animals can't step on them and make them into a puddle. It's just the sheer size of them.
mm, yeah.
They're
So
gorgeous. It's beautiful.
so
in its
this
own way.
so this movie it looks like it's gonna be accurate because Dorothy here looks like she's been through the ringer,
Yes,
and they're
this
still
this is supposed to be a sequel.
they're still using this technology to I'm guessing to still study the tornadoes to try to learn how to get that early access, and there's still people inspiring to continue on with the legacy that the original movies have pushed onto it. But
Right.
do you have thoughts this will be an inspirational or just a quick little nod of like, hey, look, fans, we know you still want to see the original.
I feel like it's going to be one of those scenarios where somebody's going to try to do something stupid,
Hmm.
and then they're going to get info from like the old timers that were in the first one that leads them to Dorothy, that leads them to finding what they need to find.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's a bread trail, Mike. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm glad to do a nod to this, but I'm hoping this is not just like some movie companies out there that like, oh look, there's a nod to you fans out there. Look, we care. Yeah, like watch now. We take your precious thing and destroy it. All right. So let's see what's going on here.
We never had a chance.
There they go, the
You
orbs.
want one? You don't face your fears.
Okay, so I know this from personal experiences. People always think, when tornadoes or hurricanes are coming, usually it'll be like a lot of rain. And when tornadoes are coming, now it's when it stopped raining that you might want to be a little bit more worried. And especially if it starts hailing, be really worried.
You need to pay more attention to the cloud circulation than anything.
Yeah.
You
Because
look up and you start seeing clouds going in two different directions.
Mhm.
That's where you need to start questioning what the hell's going on, because clouds in general travel
One
jet
direction.
stream. They travel one direction, whatever direction that stream's going. If that shit starts going this way and that way, that means some shit's getting twisted, and that's how you get twisters.
Yeah. So if you see all these like places where it's not raining right in these scenes right here, and with that baseball game, yeah, tornadoes can very much just show up out of nowhere. You don't need storms or anything like that. It can literally be dry as a whistle, and a tornado will show up.
Yeah, I mean, has anybody ever seen a dust devil?
You ride them.
Yeah, I have. I actually have. So cool. That right there, see a house is being ripped up out of the ground. And there is a reference. We got twins.
Yep.
Twins. And do you know how twins are made?
Usually it starts as a single storm and then it splits.
Yeah, either it splits or the wind of one storm will create another one. It's like a the power of one tornado, like the hurricane, right? When hurricanes make tornadoes, it's not because they were just gonna make tornadoes. No, the speed and the wind of a hurricane can make another, almost in a sense, a mini hurricane, which is a tornado, just faster in speed because it's more condensed. But yes, they sometimes what you said. So yeah, that's how this. Sometimes it's not just one that destroys; it splits off and has fun two different ways. I would not be flying a plane though. Would not be flying a plane. Would you open that door?
Hell no.
Like, I get the camera view, like you want to see the open the door and see the tornado slowly coming towards you. But no way in hell I'll be opening that door. There's no reason for it. We need to get eye contact of it.
Tornado etiquette 101. You open the damn door, you just created a vacuum.
Yeah, let me just stare at it now. I'm gonna stare it down till it goes away. Yeah, I saw that's like, why would you open that door? Why? Why? And the image right below me with that very scene.
Nope.
Also, I feel like that's another myth. People like, oh, you think you have enough arm strength to hold like your loved one or your animal, whatever, in your hand before they're going off? Yeah, you would try. But I haven't heard many people like saying, yeah, I survived just by holding on to my wife or my loved one or my dog and they didn't stick to my hand. There's a lot of wins. You have that much arm strength to hold on to someone and they don't go flying off, you are a strong motherfucker. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so there it is. It is gonna be in.
Well, that's why in the first one, when they couldn't get away from the damn tornado, they literally took leather belts and lashed themselves to an irrigation system underground.
Yeah, which makes a lot more sense because it's way deeper and it's concrete and a bunch of other things that's gonna keep it down, other than your arm strength. So this coming out in July this year. If you're looking forward to it, it's gonna be in IMAX. It's gonna be in Doji Cinema. It's gonna be a wild ride. I don't know, like these kind of movies have so much things going around and going constantly in motion and sounds that it would be probably like people might say this for most movies that this is the case, but like this will be a movie that I would almost want to have it in more better surround sound. Like, if you don't have a good surround sound, I feel like you're gonna be missing out on what they're gonna be trying to get you
Right.
into that scene.
Yeah, if you're gonna go to the theater, if you don't go to IMAX with a good surround sound system, you're kind of gonna defeat the purpose of this movie.
Yeah, and if you're gonna check it out, be sure to check it out. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, leave a like down below, leave a comment. We do podcasts every Friday. Me and him do our own personal streams. I have a lot of other videos and shorts. Be sure to leave a comment. Be sure to share with your friends and family. Tell us if you're gonna see this movie in the theaters in the comment section. As always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.